Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. Something to Talk About is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on Zoom and often in person as well. We're sponsored by Fieldstone Memory Care of Bainbridge Island. Fieldstone offers innovative and compassionate care, and they're now accepting residents. To get a tour, to schedule a tour of Fieldstone's beautifully appointed apartments on Rolling Bay, call 360-271-2530. And the topic for today is Kitsap Fresh. Have you taken advantage of our local online farmers marketplace? They've been expanding their services throughout the pandemic. I know I have ordered a few times, and General Manager Aaron Smith is here today. He's going to describe the co-op, which I guess has grown to over 100 producers. So that's pretty amazing. I know that we might often think of buying directly from the farmer either through CSA, commercially supported agriculture, where you pay in advance for food through the season, or through a farmer's market. But a number of producers in the Kitsap County area are trying something a little different than that, right, Aaron?
Yes, yeah, we have an online farmers market. Thank you for the introduction. Happy to be here today. My name is Aaron Smith. I'm born and raised here in Kitsap. I'm from Bremerton, go Knights. And we run, my wife and I have a small homestead in Paulsbo. We mostly do agritourism stuff. We do grow our own vegetables and meat and milk and stuff like that, but most of that's not sold. It's mostly agritourism. And I also general manage Kitsap Fresh.
So
kind of my full-time job now.
So can I interrupt and ask, what's the market for agritourism? Is that things like having a corn maze?
Yes, exactly. That is a prime example of agritourism. We do goat yoga and goat kitty cuddles and farm tours. We're lucky our farm's on a old homestead, so we have some history and old orchards to share when we do the tour, and we keep sheep and goats and turkeys and laying hens. So it's a pretty fun tour if you meet all those.
Goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
It's a new big craze.
It might be coming soon to the Senior Community Center. Who knows?
Yeah, it's really fun. You just go to the barn that we preserved, a heritage registered barn, and we do the goat yoga in there. We hire an instructor, and the 1 week to 4-month-old goat kids are natural at yoga poses and come in and participate, including jumping on and nibbling on the participants. And Excellent. Everyone has a good time, and there's lots of giggling.
Yeah. That sounds wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about Kitsap Fresh and the idea of an online marketplace.
Yeah, so we're trying to digital aggregation, like a lot of modern things, like shopping at Amazon, basically, where you can shop at 1,000 different stores from one storefront. But we're trying to do it with local food and farms. I'd actually like to start my presentation by allowing you to preview our upcoming marketing video. And it's just going to take a couple clicks here. And it's a great little introduction to Kitsap Fresh.
Every day, here in this beautiful place that we call home, our friends and neighbors help to sustain us. Growing, harvesting, baking, making, bringing forth their very best. Delicious food and beautiful products. Made with love. Handled with care. And we bring them all together to make them easy for you to find and enjoy. Visit us online and place your order. Then pick it up near you at one of our convenient locations, or we'll deliver right to your door. This is what local means. This is fresh and it's real. This is how it should be. From all of us to you. This is Kitsap Fresh.
So
Very nice.
that's the great new marketing video. And if I can escape my screen, I will bring up my slideshow. All right. So I like to have a anticipatory hook for my presentations. How many farms do you guys think are actually in Kitsap? This is actually a survey from 2012, so this is kind of dated information. Anyone want to gander a guess?
I'll go for C.
See, very good guess. Yeah, and that includes the horse farms and hobby farms, and that's just actually the county conservation crew driving around trying to count farms. Pretty informal. But there's more farms in Kitsap than you might think. Kitsap Fresh is a farmers cooperative. It's a food producers co-op. So we also include baked goods, micro roasted coffee, chocolatier, the smokehouse, Crimson Cove. So if you make your food in Kitsap or grow it in Kitsap, you can join. And we like to call it an online farmers market. And basically the farmers all came together and put together this online system. It started in 2014. Literally just farmers gathering at a kitchen table. We were able to partner with Wazoo, the extension office in Bremerton, to get our first grant through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which was a local food promotion grant, and that paid for our basically operations for the first 2 years, which let us put some money in the bank, which was a really big help. And now we feature 40 local businesses right here in Kitsap that are either food producers or farmers. And that 100 number, the rest of those food producers are from the Seattle area in general. They include things like, they're all kind of artisan, crafty things that are being made here in our area from our local ingredients. And they're shelf-stable things that Kitsap Fresh can buy and resell. So like San Juan Island has an awesome salt company that's actually evaporating sea salt to make salt, and they have all sorts of delicious flavors. And such example of the other kind of products, and that's how you get the 100 producers number.
Yeah, I just counted all the producers I could find on the website, which is a delightful.
Yeah, so they all have their own
array of-
profiles, and it looks like you're buying. Yep, it's really great. It's almost too much stuff to see, but you can easily sort it when you're in the shopping experience, so it's okay. One of the great parts about a digital system is that it's not like a farmer's market where there's only so many booth space. We can have as many booths as we want, as long as we make it easy to sort. Why choose Kitsap Fresh? One of the great things about it, it's 51 weeks a year. So even when the farmers markets are closed or the CSAs have wound down, you can still get whatever is available through Kitsap Fresh. And there's always things like frozen meats. There's usually dairy in the winter. Of course, things like potatoes, those things last quite a while, and farmers can sell those into February and March pretty easily. They're still fresh and yummy. Obviously, it helps the local economy. The more, I forget the statistic when I was in economics class in college, but it's something like for every dollar you spend locally, that recirculates locally 7 times. You know, when you think about the waitress spending it somewhere else and they spend it somewhere else. And so it's part of that important local boost to the economy. It's actually safer and more secure food than you get at the grocery store. Our farmers are really good about food safety. Obviously, they're usually feeding their own families this food, and it's their own property. So they're not using any chemicals you wouldn't want used in your waterlands, wet farmlands. One of the best things about it, and this is the reason I'm passionate about it, is it helps save Kitsap farmland. I'm all for conservation, but the best way to save farmland is to use it and make sure the farmer can make money using it. So we like to say we're incentivizing the use of farmland by making an easy place for farmers to shop, or for consumers to shop and farmers to list. And then we like to think of ourselves as that's supposed to be adjunct, not adjust. We like to think of ourselves as an adjunct to the farmers markets. Many of our vendors are also farmer market vendors. They're usually on Saturday, with the exception of Bremerton's on Thursday, the farmers markets. And we have our home deliveries on Thursday and our pickup locations on Wednesday. So it's the middle of the week option to get local food. And farmers really need 2 places to sell food. That's why they all do have a CSA and a farmers market stand, and maybe something else too, because fruit doesn't wait till Saturday to ripen, right? It just, cherries and tomatoes and peas and strawberries, they just keep on ripening. They don't care what day of the week it is.
Yeah, or lately plums, they ripen right away.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, a lot of plums in the marketplace right now, actually. And that's one of the fun things too, as more food comes in and the season changes, the prices do change. Farmers do change their prices when they have too many tomatoes. So you'll get a really good deal on local tomatoes this time of year. Buying from Kitsap Fresh is generally a good thing for the environment. I was just talking about how our local small farms, they usually are their own little homesteads, so they're not using pesticides or synthetic fertilizers. They're keeping it all natural. We highlight seasonal production, so we're not buying stuff out of season and reselling it. So seasonal production obviously mimics nature and is always better for the environment. We're reducing transportation costs and storage needs. We don't actually store much in terms of the fresh food. It actually gets picked after you order it. So the farmer gets a pick ticket once you've ordered it, and they go out and pick it, or the food producer prepares it. And all the farms around here are doing diverse crops, so that's always better for the environment too. The big monocropping in the Midwest and Eastern Washington, that sometimes is a problem. It helps pests and such. Consumer membership is free. Excuse me. So that means there's no annual fee. You don't have to pay a fee to see what the marketplace looks like or to have access to the marketplace. There is an affordable per order handling fee of $6 for the pickup locations. We do run 6 countywide curbside contact-free pickup locations. On Bainbridge Island, it's the Grange Hall on Madison. And that's a nice central location on Bainbridge Island. I'm very happy with that. Plus, we're helping an agricultural community entity by using their parking lot. And you just pull up and tell your attendant the last name the order is under, and then make sure you get all your items. It's pretty great. We also now just recently, about 6 months ago, started home delivery. We do service all of Bainbridge Island, and that's $12 per order. And we have a cooler system to make sure things like raw milk and frozen meats stay fresh. And we just pick that cooler up the next time you order, or you can drop it off at the Grange if you're not going to order anytime soon. So that's pretty great. Consumer membership is free.
And can I ask a little bit about the pickups? The home delivery. Has that been a popular item?
It hasn't been as popular as we thought it would be. I think it's still going to catch on. I think not many people know about it yet. I think we need to do some marketing. We're going to have a shorter version of that video on the ferries and in the ferry waiting booths starting October 15. So that
Great.
should help.
Yeah, especially if the ferries run, that will be good.
Yeah. And ferries are getting busier and busier post-pandemic. I know there's only half as many boats right now. You asked for a discount for that, but anyway, that should be some good advertising for us. It'll be in the waiting areas too, so when you're waiting for that boat 2 hours later, it'll be over and over again.
You have plenty of time to watch it. Great.
That's right. It's great we also want you always, if you know of a farmer or somebody who has a big garden and they always are giving away their produce, we would love for you to tell them about our service. We'd love for them to join as producer members. We're always wanting more farms. The more we have, the more we offer, and the better our marketplace looks. Plus, we're saving that farmland, right? And incentivizing the use of farmland. So if you know of anybody, have them join. It's only $50 a year to be a producer at Kitsap Fresh. We do have some basic guidelines to have to follow, but it's pretty basic stuff, like have a business license. For consumers, I've already highlighted most of these things. It's great. Easy pickup and ordering system. You get to pick from multiple farms from one location. You wouldn't have to go from farm stand to farm stand, and you wouldn't have to have multiple orders or payment systems. It's all done in one system. And we also have a great weekly newsletter that highlights what's going to be seasonal this week and reminds you to order, reminds you when the order period opens. One of the weird things is our order period is just Saturday and Sunday. So it's kind of is like a farmer's market. Order Saturday, Sunday, orders are picked and prepared Mondays and Tuesdays, and then they're delivered on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
The other great advantage of it is that you can just try it out. If you aren't quite sure if you're going to like it, do it for a few times and see. There's no, you aren't, signing up for the whole year. And so you get a sense, and I can say for myself that the quality is just astounding. It's just really delicious looking and tasting produce.
Super high quality because it is picked after it's ordered. There's no time for it to age. Literally, sometimes, depending on the size of the farm, it comes in Wednesday morning, picked that morning. But this is just a fun graphic how it works, and I'm just explaining that. So you log in online, you order on Saturdays and Sundays. Farmers pick and prepare the order on Tuesdays. We aggregate and sort it at our centralized warehouse in North Kitsap on Wednesdays. And we get it out to 6 pickup locations countywide, all the way south is Port Orchard, Bremerton, Silverdale, and a couple North Kitsap locations, as well as Bainbridge Island. And then again, if you want home delivery, that happens on Thursday. And we keep everything nice and safe and cool with our cooler and refrigerator systems. And so if you're a working person and you get home at 5, your frozen meat is still frozen in a nice high-tech cooler on your patio waiting for you. So it's pretty convenient for folks. So we think the online ordering and the home delivery will be very popular. Here's what the ordering looks like. It's modern and cool and fresh. And up in the top right, there's a little figurine that looks like a bust. That's your cart. That's where you can set up your membership and look at your profile. And on the left, you can sort by vegetable types or by farmer, if you have a favorite farmer. You can also program your favorites. So things you like, you can just click a little button and it'll show up every time right there in your list of favorites. So pretty great way to order. Like I said, all the farms are in one place. So you don't have to walk around or drive around from farm stand to farm stand. These are our pickup locations, our graphics and a little map of the county. So yeah, Kingston, we have a lot of breweries we've partnered with. Before the pandemic, we actually had 10 countywide locations, and 7 of them, I think, were breweries. But now we have 3 breweries kind of in each end of the county, and the YMCA in Silverdale. Our warehouse is one of the pickups in central North Kitsap. And then the Vibe Coworks is convenient for Bainbridge Island folks who come over to Kitsap often. It's the new Crabtree building where the fancy Crabtree restaurant and steakhouse is. So that's pretty great pickup location. But the Grange is our best one. That's our Bainbridge Island location. Certainly our busiest location is the Bainbridge Island Grange. And these are the partners I was just talking about we work with. We also work with the Peninsula Credit Union. They're one of our community sponsors. No pickup location there, though. And I think that is my presentation.
Well, that is a great overview of what you're doing. And have you you were able to actually, because you had set this up in advance, get through the pandemic with pretty much no fuss, right? You had to change a few things in the pickup order.
Yeah, we took only 1 week off to kind of re-logisticize and figure out the best way to do things. Pandemic, especially back then, we didn't know nearly as much as we know now about how it's transferred and stuff. So we set up some really strict rules about wearing your mask. We're going to have you clear out your back seat or your trunk so our attendants can put it in your back seat or trunk and not even get anywhere near you when you pick it up at the contact-free delivery system. Of course, our attendants are all wearing masks, and we ask the customers to all wear masks too. And now that the pandemic's changed a bit, we did go back to our older system, at least at 2 locations, where it's a self-serve pickup. So you go in, your order's there waiting for you in a paper bag or multiple paper bags with your name on it, and it tells you how many you have if there's more than one. And there's a cooler, again, with your stuff all together, labeled and easy to grab at once. There's a cooler bag and a freezer bag in the coolers. So we have 2 self-serve pickup locations, and that just makes it a little easier for us. We can drop it off, come back and pick it up the next day kind of thing. But it lets us have more locations, basically, with not as many as attendants.
Sheila has a question.
Questions, if I might. First
Please.
of all, what kinds of meats do you have?
It changes seasonally, but our farmers have beef, pork, chicken. We buy bison from an Eastern Washington ranch and resell it at Kitsap Fresh. Some people prefer bison to beef. And on occasion, there's goat and rabbit even.
Oh, yeah?
We have one farm, Black Jack Valley Farm down in South Kitsap. They're a raw cow milk farm. And she also raises a goodly bit of livestock, including pigs, goats, and rabbits. So she is a busy farmer, Karen Olson.
Wow, I get it. How do you pay for these, Aaron? How do you pay for it?
Okay, you have an account set up. Excuse my dog. You have an account set up, and your credit card's in there. And we do have a little bit wonky part about the payment. We don't charge you, even though you might order it on Saturday or Sunday. We don't charge you until Thursday evening. Once you've had a chance to actually receive the order, go home and go through it and make sure you're happy with everything. And our email's on the pickup sheet, the pickup packing slip. So you can just shoot us an email, or you can just hit reply on your confirmation emails and tell us what's wrong or missing or something got smushed. We take that off your invoice before we charge you. We call those adjustments. And because it is picked or prepared after it's ordered, there's actually always quite a few adjustments. Most of them get taken care of and recognized at the warehouse. When the farmers drop off, they announce, hey, I didn't have everything. I overestimated, or I got hit by a frost, or the slugs ate it, whatever it was. And we just back those out right then on the spot. But some of them get discovered more when the customer goes through the bags. So those are called adjustments. But then we just hit charge and all automatically gets deducted from accounts. And every once in a while, there's somebody with an expired card and I have to chase down payment. But it all works pretty nice. Credits get applied at that time too, and people can have gift certificates, and they can overpay on purpose, pay $50 one week and just have the balance pay on to the next week. So it's all pretty automated, and you can look back and see all your orders in your profile, and you can change your payment options and you can change each week your location. You're not stuck with one location. If you're traveling around the county and you're visiting somebody somewhere else, you can pick up your order somewhere else that week.
So in order to, Aaron, in order to get in touch with you, it's to call, email kitsapfresh.org.
Yeah, the email address that I answer most is info@kitsapfresh.org. And then to register and shop, you just go to our kitsapfresh.org, just go to the webpage and say, I want to buy. Click on
Yeah, you don't need to actually talk to Aaron to get started. I know I just did it.
All by yourself, you did it?
Pretty clever. Marcy, did you have a comment or question?
Yes, I had a question. I've known about Kitsap Fresh for quite a while. Clearly, your education, you're right about getting the word out. This is an amazingly limited number of people this morning who are chipping in on this. So I don't think it's well known at all. But I had a question about the co-op part. I went to a series of meetings at the Grange years ago, and I kept saying, why aren't we talking co-ops? And nobody was hearing me. So I'm very curious to know a little more about how it's organized on the cooperative. When you use the word, what do you mean? How are you?
Yeah, I've always, I was the person who, my wife and I together had kind of the brainstorm to start this thing. We were copying an existing organization that's very much just like us called the Fresh Food Revolution. And they're based out in Key Peninsula, Vaughn, Key Center, which is really Pierce County, really, but they also service South Kitsap. And we actually sold through them originally, and then we bought our property in North Kitsap, but we knew we wanted to start something like it. But all the way back from college, I've had an affinity for cooperative organizations because of the idea that everyone can share in the benefits of the business in terms of profit making, et cetera, and not just have the one person at the top, the owner, operator, and or stock people, stock owners making the benefit from it. So if we can spread out the benefit to everybody, that's always been something I've been interested and excited about. And so when we went to start Kitsap Fresh, that was kind of the mode I had in my mind. It should be a co-op. And I was actually able to, the main reason we picked it, it was actually fairly easy to incorporate at the state level as an agricultural co-op. And so that was kind of the deciding factor. It was simple enough. I could just wing it on my own. I didn't need to hire an attorney to write the incorporation papers. So
is the co-op, is everybody who's a producer a co-op?
The member owners who are here in Kitsap. So as a shopper, it's a little bit hard to tell because like salt, like the example of the sea salt company from San Juan Islands, they're not a member owner. We buy and resell that product. And that's basically true for all the shelf stable products that come in a jar and you can leave on a shelf for a week or 10 or 60 days or half a year. Those things we're buying and reselling for the most part. But the other folks who are member owners, there's the local bakeries and mostly farmers, including the meat farmers. They are member owners. They only pay annual dues once a year. And when they quit being a member owner, they're not, when they don't list 1 year, they're not member owners anymore. We don't have a stock system, so we don't keep a track who has been member the longest. We kept it super simple, never planning to sell it or anything, so we don't need to worry about that, right? So everybody's equal owner and everyone has equal say at our annual meeting, 1 vote per farm.
Rules, yeah.
1 vote per farm, and we encourage everybody to take a turn on the board of directors. Obviously, farmers are super busy, especially in the summer. but we do have meetings monthly. So we want the board to be made up of our member owners, because it's, it's unlike a farmers market board of directors, which is often a lot of community members involved in it. Because we are a co-op and organized like a co-op, and decisions really affect all the owner operators, we try to have the board of directors just be member owners. And that's an always ever evolving group of folks.
But that's the group that would make decisions about how much stock, how many products are we going to buy that we aren't raising? What kinds of inventory are we going to hold? Are we going to go into this whole delivery business? That kind of
Right. They make the big decisions, the strategic decisions, and the tactical stuff is more on my lap. So specifically who to buy from, I do, but they gave me buying guidelines when we first started to buy and resell things. The stuff you buy and resell needs to be made in Washington or Oregon. It needs to be featuring local ingredients when possible. We do feature a Middle Eastern import company. They're in Seattle, but they're just putting labels on stuff they're buying from the Middle East. But they're really awesome products that are a great complement to what we're buying and what we're selling and what our farmers are making. And they're things you can't, we're not going to get tahini sauce from any local farmers. So, but people are still going to want to buy awesome tahini sauce, right? So we carry that product. It is a really top quality company. But for the most part, the stuff we buy and resell is right from what we call the Cascadia bioregion. So that is Washington, Oregon, and most of Idaho. If it's a tributary of the Columbia, it's part of our local food scene, Kitsap Fresh.
Well, I've never joined Kitsap Fresh, mostly because I do belong to the Butler Green CSA, and he uses the money to help training or supporting our young farmers, our interns learning to farm. And do you have any support group or support operation of the co-op that helps with the new farmers coming in and learning how to farm?
Kitsap Fresh doesn't directly do any farm mentoring or anything like that. We consider our role as, to be the marketplace, to make it so easy for the farmer so that the farmer can concentrate on the internship relationships more and do that training on that level. But Butler Green sells with us too. And they also sell at the Town and Country. So they have a lot of good outlets. The CSAs are a great thing for farms because they get a nice big payment early on in the season when they have a lot of startup costs, seeds and soil and compost, those kinds of things, bonuses for interns to get them to move out here. So yeah, the CSAs are great. I think you'll find we have a lot of stuff that the CSA doesn't have, of course, like the frozen meats, like the milk, like the baked goods. I think we have 5 bakeries now, everything from a sourdough specialty bakery to kind of more candies and cookies from Farm Kitchen. So there's lots of
it
stuff
might be
on
worth
there.
looking, even if you are supporting Butler with a CSA, you might do a little shopping online, Marcy, to see if there's
Well,
something.
that's why I'm here today, is because I'm interested. I just have not made the move because of Butler Green. Jen, your role in this is as hired by the co-op or a member of the managing member of the co-op?
My title is general manager. I just get paid a salary. I am the exempt employee. No, sorry. Yeah, I'm the exempt employee. So I don't have any rules on how many hours I can work, etc. And I do all the hiring.
That every week, probably, right?
Right, exactly. And I do all the hiring and firing and I really take care of all the day-to-day operations of the business, which is quite a bit at this point. Last year our gross revenue was $900,000.
Wow.
Almost $1 million during the COVID. It really boomed. We had 350% growth. We went from less than 100 orders to 350 orders each week.
And have you seen some sustainability, or you're about to tell us?
We've lost about half of that. We're still way above the old 100 order mark, but we have a hard time breaking the 200 order mark. But we have had a nice increase over the summer, and we do have had an ongoing marketing project. The video is kind of the cornerstone of it, but we've been doing things that we haven't done traditionally recently in marketing. I think it's starting to get us some traction. Traditionally, our marketing has just been what we call guerrilla marketing, just posters, word of mouth. Of course, we have a good Facebook profile and we have a Google ad, but that was traditionally all we did. And just at the start of this year, we were like, okay, let's have a more formalized business marketing idea, marketing plan, strategy. And we spent some money on some mailings on the island, and we have logos on our bands now. So it's all going to add up, I think, as we get going. Next year will be kind of the make or break. We did double the size of our warehouse because of the pandemic. And then to have a big drop in sales, that put a little crunch on things. So we're definitely need the marketing to take off. Next year, we're really hoping to get back to that 300 order mark or get close to it again.
I want to thank you very much, Aaron. This was very informative, and keep in touch. And as you add products, let us know. The Senior Center is happy to help spread the word.
Great. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.